Yahoo! Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, to the Aquarian Adepts, my platform, our platform, to become your spiritual server. And this is a weekend energetic report for today and tomorrow, Saturday the 11th, Sunday the 12th of August of 2018. Thank you so much for joining me. And I just got back from the first half of my day at work. I'm on break. And I figured it's like, you know what? I need to get back into the habit of making daily videos, because I've been making some videos, but they've been kind of like vlogs, but I haven't really been doing like daily astrology and tarot videos. So I want to get back into the habit of that. And my intention, of course, is to do like the weekend as like kind of like together. So we were obviously at a major, powerful weekend. I did make a video about this eclipse, so if you haven't already, go check it out on my page. But we had the new moon solar eclipse in Leo, which apexed this morning at around 5:45 to about 6 o'clock in the morning. That was Eastern Standard Time. So most of America was asleep. I woke up right at the apex, and it was kind of weird because my dreams were so super vivid last night, and I knew they were going to be. I knew they were going to be super vivid, but it was interesting because I woke up in the morning. When I looked at my phone, I saw 5:45, so I literally woke up right at the apex of this eclipse, and I'm just looking around like, whoa, what is going on here? Like, kid you not, that actually happened, and I'm sure I'm not the only person who woke up at that time. There's no way I was the only one. I would have to say that many people, many light workers, many light walkers woke up at that time, and even people who don't even know that they are yet woke up around that time. They probably don't even know that there was an eclipse. But it's very apparent right now that we are being called. The universe is asking us to answer the call of our hearts, to answer the call to be brave, to truly express and become that which we seek. We do so much seeking in this world, right? We do so much seeking, right? We seek out degrees, we seek out relationships, we seek out a job, we seek out more money, we seek out a house, we seek out cars. We're always seeking, right? And even after we obtain these things, we're told to seek more, seek more. You know, we have to continually increase the profits of our businesses. We have to continually expand. We have to continually seek. And it's interesting. Because, yes, while things do grow, things do also contract. And you can't have this infinite expansion without there being some type of contraction as well, right? And the nature perfectly exemplifies this, right? The tides, they rise and fall. Even the ice ages, you know, the ice, it goes up to the caps, but then over time it makes its way down, you know, closer towards the equator. It gets colder. We go through this cycle. So we've been kind of fooled to believe that we need to constantly seek. We need to constantly seek more, seek more, seek more. And the issue with that is that they don't tell people to go within. They tell people that it is what it's outside of them. And I say them, but we tell ourselves this, right? We are them. It's like in South Park, who killed Kenny? They killed Kenny, those bastards. You know, we are those people, you know. We are those bastards, you know. We kill our own dreams. And we kill our own creativity. We kill our own authenticity by being what we think society wants us to be, or being what we think society is best for us. You have to consider the South Node is in Aquarius, and Mars is retrograde here. So not only is the superhero, because if you really think about it, Mars in Aquarius, it's like superhero energy, right? It's like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, you know? We have all these Marvel movies and these DC movies and all these superhero movies right now. Like I said in my solar eclipse report, Mars at 0 degrees of Aquarius is no superheroes. It's offline. They're gone. They're on break. They're on a vacation, right? They're at the beach. They're chilling. So when Godzilla comes through and is wrecking the town, metaphorically, who's going to save the town? Who's going to step up? You are going to step up. That's what this eclipse is calling us to do, is that you need to step up. You need to make a decision. You need to follow your heart, regardless of what other people think. And yes, you're going to come across people that don't necessarily see eye to eye with you. But that doesn't mean that you have to completely disregard their divinity. No, no, no. What you do is you can politely respect that you don't see eye to eye with this person and move along. Right? That's what that's this whole lesson, especially with 7 retrograde planets. That's this whole lesson, is to embrace who we are and really begin to express that and become that. Become that authenticity. Instead of seeking something outside of us, go within and realize that the kingdom of heaven or the queendom of heaven is within. It's within you. You are a star, beloved. You are a star. You are a beautiful star child of the infinite cosmos. So go within. You already are infinitely abundant. You don't need to seek outside of yourself. But we've been fooled to believe that we have to. Right? But today, this major manifestation, this legendary day, it's going to be legendary. It's really teaching us to believe in our own hearts. Do you believe in the magic of your own heart? That you can manifest those true desires that you have? Do you believe in that, right? We have to consider what else is going to happen today. The sun is going to make a quincunx over to Pluto retrograde, right? And I like to call quincunxes the awkward stare from across the room, right? It's going to be interesting to see how we really begin to work with transforming our life, because this is, Pluto's in Capricorn, so it's talking about society at large. So society might want to mold you into a certain way, but we have to have the awareness that society is changing and morphing forever. So how do we find ourselves and express ourselves within that collective transformation? Because we're all going through this, right? Capricorn in many ways is dealing with society as a whole and the structure, where Leo is talking more about the representative and the love that they radiate, right? The creativity and what they express. Whereas Aries is like raw energy, Leo is more about the creative self-expression. You have to go through a couple of steps before you get to Leo, right? You have to find your self-worth in Taurus, You have to establish your mind and communication with Gemini. You have to process your emotions and develop emotional intelligence with Cancer. Then you get to Leo. That's the interesting thing about it. That's what separates Leo from Aries, right? And this quincunx that the sun will be making over to the moon, Pluto, which will happen later on in the evening on Saturday, is really going to be an opportunity for us to really look deep within our hearts, because this is Pluto, so it is going to be deep. It's going to be deep, right? It's going to be deep, deep, deep into your heart. I'm telling you, down to the core, right? This is not a surface level shallow pool. This isn't holes where we're just digging holes. Was it 6 feet deep by 6 feet wide or whatever it was, or it's 5 by 5? No, that's minuscule. That's small. We're going deep into the core of who we are, and examining and realizing it's all right, do we really want to bring this fire and this passionate roar out? Do we want to bring this out? Are you ready to bring it out? Are you ready to transform your life by bringing this out? It's going to be the really big test. And the interesting thing is that while the sun is making that quincunx over to Pluto, when it'll be at 19 degrees, the moon will be at 28 degrees of Leo, so it'll be wrapping up in Leo. But both of these numbers add up to a 10. If you think about the number 10, what is it? It's kind of an ending point, but also a beginning point. And technically, 10 doesn't exist. Technically, that number, 10 is technically not really a number. It's really just 2 digits next to each other. It's a 1 and a 0. There's technically no numbers after 9. Technically. You just have 2 that are next to each other. So think about that. This means that it's a moment where it's like we are really manifesting something here with this energy. We're really going to be manifesting something with our moon, with the moon and our emotions, which are calling us into our hearts. And then while the sun is quincunxing over to Pluto, and those two energies, 19, 1 plus 9 adds up to a 10 as well. This is a deep transformation of our hearts. This is a deep transformation of whether or not we really believe in ourselves. This is a deep transformation of whether or not we feel we are moving in the right direction, whether we feel like we actually are being guided by our hearts, by Source, by God, by Spirit, by Goddess. And I'm probably going to write an article about this, but I do want to mention this as well before I talk about Sunday, is that this solar eclipse that we're having is actually healing a lot of hearts. Now, what you're going to see is that a lot of people might have a bit of a change of heart. People might go from the quote-unquote light side to the dark side and dark side to the light side. Some people who have been on the fence may stay on the fence because they decide that the middle path is better and they want to integrate both sides. It's kind of where you really want to be. But you're going to see that people are going to be switching sides. It's going to be a change of heart. And the reason why is because they have a broken heart. And they don't realize that broken doesn't mean non-functional. Broken doesn't mean that you're gone. Broken doesn't mean that you don't exist anymore. It simply means that you've been through this. It's an experience. You've been hurt by intimate relationships, friends, family, situations, jobs, money issues, in some parts of the world, basic issues as far as getting clean water, having good food, basic issues like that, housing. You've been heartbroken, and it's okay, but you're not shattered. You haven't been shattered. There's a difference between broken and shattered, and I'm thinking about one of my favorite new shows, Steven Universe, which I've been binging a lot lately, where it's like the gems, which is like an alien race. If their gem gets broken, they kind of go a little wonky. It's kind of like Chiron, It's like, Chiron, it's a little wonky, a little awkward, but then it's like, there's a lesson in there that, once they heal from that, they kind of come back stronger. So it's interesting. But if a gem has their gem shattered, because the gem is pretty much the core of their being, and they project their light through that stone, which is a prism, which is what this is. That's what we're doing here anyways. It's just a very cool expression of that truth. I highly encourage you to check out the show. It's an amazing show. But if their gem is shattered, then they disappear forever. But they can live thousands upon thousands of years, right? And it's interesting because the main character is Steven, and I'm giving away a little bit, but he actually has the ability to heal these gems with his saliva. So I think it's interesting how today you want to accept a kiss from God, or goddess, from spirit, source. Because what's happening is that we all have broken hearts, but none of us have been shattered. I believe that no one has been shattered. I think some of us have been broken, and some of us have been broken for a long, long time. And they think that they're shattered. They think that they can't find their way. They think that they can't find the light. But the light is within. And I think on today, we're going to be receiving a kiss from God on our hearts. And that's actually going to mend this gem. It's going to mend our heart. And even though for some people it's going to take a very, very long time for that gem to fully heal, we're going to all come back stronger for it. And we're going to form a tighter knit collective where we're more compassionate with each other, we're more understanding with each other, we're more empathetic, more loving. This is really the beginning. This right here is the beginning. And those of you who are on the spiritual path, and those of you who are doing the spiritual work, and it's not all rainbows and sunshines, right? It's not all unicorns and dragons and fairies. It's not all like that. It's not all kumbaya drum circles. No, sometimes it gets dark and heavy and intense and crazy and wild. And you're wondering, like, man, why the fuck am I doing this? But if you're doing the work, I promise you, over the next 8 to 10 years, you're going to see your life explode and blossom into the most fantastic, miraculous experience you could have possibly imagined. You imagined it because you're here right now, but it will be so inconceivable too. And you're really going to be in line and in position to help those who wake up over the ages, who wake up over the next few years. Because, we've had major awakenings, coming through. But since the major awakening of, 2011, 2012, when that wave kind of woke up. And we all have been. And it's hard to stay asleep now, but what's happening here with this eclipse is that we're all receiving a kiss from God. And I think it's like we can't deny the kiss either. I think it's like we have free will, but because there's 7 retrograde planets with this, we can't not receive this kiss. and our gem and our heart is going to be healed. Now, like I said, some of us have had their hearts broken for a very, very, very long time. And it is sad. It does hurt. But we were all in this together. This morning I did a little meditation when I got in the shower. I just put my hands over my heart and I just smiled. I wasn't really even thinking too much. I just smiled. I just felt that vibration. And it was soft. It was gentle. It was caring. It was loving. And that's actually something I want to start doing every single day, to just make sure I just do this and smile. But it's really a beautiful energy. And it's a very forgiving energy, right? Sometimes we need to forgive ourselves. We need to have mercy on ourselves. We're not all perfect, but we're all perfect. Together we are. But we all have our karma. We all have our cycles that we're going through. But this is a big moment of transformation. And then on the 12th, the next day on Sunday, we do have a grand earth trine. Literally grounding this in. The moon shifts into Virgo, things get real, and it makes trines over to Uranus retrograde and Saturn retrograde. Literally grounding this in and it becoming real. Interesting thing is that we had two of those energies that are retrograde. Uranus, god of the heavens, electricity, quantum rebellion, I even like to say, which is really adaptation. That's what quantum rebellion is. It's adaptation. In Taurus. So in many ways, our bodies are learning to adapt, literally to adapt to these energies. But since it's retrograde, a lot of it's internal right now. And it'll come out. But that's why a lot of the people that's why for me personally, I've been really sleepy lately, And a lot of people have been experiencing their symptoms of these energies and how to deal with them in their own way. Whether you've been sleepy or you've been a little bit more frustrated than usual, a little bit more on edge than usual, a little bit more triggered, And then, of course, we have the trine over to Saturn retrograde in Capricorn, which means that we're all making an internal decision, and it may be even unconscious, but it's really in line with our spirit, even though we don't necessarily, even if it's not really known to us at first. But the moon will be in Virgo, literally grounding this in. We can literally become it, and we literally can begin to really become our authenticity, become our love, become that radiance, become that beacon, become that star, be that love. Now is the time to be. We have been doing humanity for such a long time. Now it's time to be humanity. We have been human doings. Now is time to be human beings. That's what this weekend is about. That's what it's revealing. And with the close of this eclipse cycle, which has been probably I can tell just from me personally, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and even physically, probably one of the craziest months that I've felt in my life. And it probably will be like that. But it has been a necessary moment of transformation where we all have been shot through a prism and seen all the different refractions of who we are. And we're trying to pick out which one is us. And really, all of it is us. And it's time to embrace that collective, beautiful self. That is it for your reading today. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. And if you would like a personal reading with me, beloved, you can follow the link in the description below to theaquarianadepts.com. And always remember, my beautiful brothers and sisters, to keep moving forward, to stay focused, and Yahoo! Smile often.